want me to hear. Crash my temple, lady. Burn all my idols and throw them on the ground. And ridicule, I say ridicule everything that I hold dear. And I won't ask you why. Don't make me cry. We'll be holding to a power greater than what you or I. Don't make me cry. One teardrop greater than the weight of every pain I've ever carried on my shoulders. Watch it fall to the ground, just like an angel falling from a cloud. Don't tempt us, that's a lady. Don't let my bleed fall off the steel wall around your heart. A little faster, maybe, than you wanted to go. But now you know why. Don't make me cry, 'cause I won't try to hide it. Why do you deny it? Why you wanna make me cry? Mr. John Gibson on first trumpet. Coming from Berkeley High, weighing in at 156 pounds and 14 ounces. His specialty is to right punch, right cross. Also from Berkeley High, David Sachre, possessor of a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Chinese history. We had to get somebody associated with the mob just to be in the band because it's good. So we called up Rand Singer from Miami, tenor saxophone, my boy. You know what I noticed when I said mob? Everybody went like this. Okay, we'll clap for him too. It's all good. Also, the person who was like the other catalyst, me and Jaime Casillas and this man, I watched him. I used to walk from the Bison Cafe in Berkeley to my mother's house, the Bison in Berkeley. And every time I'd walk down Ellsworth Street, I'd see him in the window playing his saxophone through the curtains, like a bad B movie. And every time I heard it, it got better. So I came and knocked on his door. I said, "Do you want to start a band?" He said, "Yeah, by the way, here's my brother Bob. He plays piano." And then Bob said, "By the way, as long as you're having rehearsal, we should bring Dave Sachre." Eventually, word got around, he's called in John Gibson, okay? And then the other side of the story is, we were hanging out about 4 or 5 years ago trying to score some drugs at 4 in the morning somewhere. About 8 years ago, actually. When I first met Jaime Casillas, he said one day, bass, co-founder, he said, "One day we're gonna start a band. I don't know when it is. We will start a band." So he called me up about 3 years ago and said, "Hey, you remember you were talking that shit about starting a band? You want to start a band?" I said, "Sure." Little did I know, the next day, he sold the lease to his apartment, turned off his phone, put all of his instruments in the trunk of his '64 Cadillac, and was on my door the next day. He said, "Okay, motherfucker, you want to start a band?" Which proves my theory. Never make a promise to a Mexican that you can't keep. Because they'll call you on it, right? So sooner or later, the word got around because I used to play with a band called the Freaky Executives in the 80s. Dan Eisenberg called me, but there was another Dan who was a really burnout cat. He couldn't quite get it together neurolinguistically, and I mistook the two for each other. And Dan finally cornered me in the bar and said, "If you don't let me play in your band, then I'm gonna have to go to your mother." Yeah, that's right. And so the first time he played with the band, everything locked like this. So then, okay, so I'll try to get it on. I'll get it on. Here we go. And then from the Mission District, we have proud father of two, upstanding citizen of the community, and an expert in the fine art of guitar, Mr. David Schull. So then David Schull said, "Well, you need a percussionist." Well, who better than Adrian Arreas on congas? From the Mission. That's Chapito Arreas, the original timbale player for Santana, his son. Right. So all this shit was popping, and then of course Janet Adams gets in the mix. The lovely and talented Janet Adams. But the pièce de résistance, the thing that really made it for me was, everywhere I go in the world, people complain about drummers. They bitch about they don't have the right drummer. We got the right one on the first try. Mr. David Tweedy. He moved down here from somewhere up north, the far regions, snowy regions of the north, to play with Los Angelitos. And basically, we have basically the entire lineup that we had at our very first rehearsal 3 years ago. My name is Piero Andres Ornelas. I am the invisible mayor of Berkeley, California. We are Los Angelitos.